Guatemala is a country not larger than 109,000 square kilometers, but squeezed in between two large continents and laying on three continental plates. This amazing country is absolutely ideal for studies of different ecosystems. With vegetation types from dry highland mountains to wet lowland rainforests, Guatemala is home for more than 6,000 different plant species. To comparison, there's not even 3,000 plant species in all the Nordic countries together. A numerous amount of endangered orchids, and the jaguar is just a small appetizer of Guatemala's flora and fauna.
Everyone, look at the nice fruits of the resort.
Mangrove forests and mangrove swamps are plant communities considered as coastal ecosystems. These ecosystems are situated in so-called keys, spread throughout the world, but only in tropical and subtropical waters. Mangroves are very salt tolerant, and twice a day the territory is occupied by the salty water from the sea. Their habitat stretches from Australia and Asia to Africa and further on to the Americas. Here in the torrid zone, the water's average temperature is not less than 23 degrees Celsius, which is a very important factor for this particular plant community. We are going to look a bit closer at three mangrove communities in Guatemala, and first place is situated at the Pacific coast, a place called Biotopo Monterrico.
Now we are in the mangroves of Guatemala, the south coast. What we can see here is 4 different species of mangroves, most common species in the new tropic world. What is very characteristic, as we can see out here, is the roots that's above the water.
Mangroves are halophytes. This means that they are relatively insensitive to salt toxicity. This is also why mangroves grow where fresh water and the tidal meet. It is assumed that mangroves are excluded from other plant communities by competitors that do not carry the salt burden in this stressed environment. The mangrove community exists in zones. It is often monospecific, as shown on the illustration. The zonation is modified by local topography, which decides the tidal runoff. Also, the sediment composition is of importance when we talk about zonation. Furthermore, vegetative patterns will change with substrate composition. The typical substrate is a shallow sand flat that has collected sediment and turned into a muddy organic soil.
It's very typical mangrove adaptation to have these roots.
The water hyacinth is an invasive species from the Amazon basin of South America.
Here we have one of the biggest problems in the tropics, in the tropical waters. Actually it looks very nice, but it's not.
It was introduced in many countries because of its beauty, but if it's not controlled it will cover lakes and ponds entirely. This impacts water flow, blocks sunlight and starves the water from oxygen, causing native aquatic plant death and fish kills.
There are 4 species, Rhizophora, Avicennia, Tonocarpus and Laguncularia.
We were told that the 4 common mangrove species would be at this location. We only had the pleasure to see the red and the white mangrove, but let's find out more about these 4 species.
And also we see they're clearly different.
Approximately 35 species of mangroves occur globally. In the neotropical world, the following 4 species are the most common ones. The white mangrove, Laguncularia racemosa, usually occupies higher elevations and has no visible aerial root systems. The easiest way to identify the white mangrove is by the leaves. They are elliptical, light yellow-green, often notched at the tip, and have two distinguishing sugar glands on the leaf stalk at the base of the leaf blade. The black mangrove, Avicenna germinans, often occurs in shallow water and landward of the red mangrove. The black mangrove can be identified by numerous finger-like projections called pneumatophores that protrude from the soil around the tree's trunk and help with aeration. The smallest species is the buttonwood, Codocarpus erecta. The name refers to the button-like flowers that are clustered in 5 mm terminal globose heads. It also has glands on the leaf stalks like the white mangrove, and it may grow intertidally, but is usually considered an upland species. The red mangrove, Rhizophora mangle, is found closest to the water and is probably the best known. The red mangrove is easily identified by its tangled, arching roots called prop roots. The growth of these roots earned red mangroves the title walking trees because they creep into new areas by branching roots.
We now entered the river Rio Dulce, and we are going to sail for about 4 hours. We're going to look for mangroves.
Here at the riverhead we have fresh water. We also have mangroves, but actually many mangrove species grow very well in fresh water. Mangrove is not a taxonomical term. It is based on physiological and biological characteristics such as pneumatophores and vivipary. Some species have lack of these features and are more considered as mangrove associates than true mangroves.
Here we see the fruits of the Rhizophora, and what we actually see here is that the seed has germinated. This is called vivipary.
Red mangrove trees has occupied all tropical seas around the world with these characteristic seedlings. But even though the progress to a living plant still attached to the parent tree, it may float in brackish water up till 1 year before it stakes its claim for territory. As it grows up, it will get its characteristic aerial stilt roots, which turn into a useful diagnostic field character.
Here we actually see some of the roots from the red mangrove coming down from the trees.
Metaphorically speaking, these arching roots make the mangrove walk in loops the same way the dolphin jumps in the water.
I'm standing on the roots of a red mangrove called Rhizophora. And here we got an epiphyte of the Cactaceae. And there's some giant ants walking around up here also.
Here we have another epiphyte. This is an Androlepis from the Bromeliaceae. This is the Pachira aquatica from the Bombaceae. It is a tropical wetland tree native to Central and South America where it grows in swamps. Commercially, it is sold under the name Malabar chestnut or money tree.
It's a water fern.
Acrosticum, very famous.
Here we have the fertile leaves of the Acrosticum. What are you filming above ground?
Seashells attached to the roots do not hurt the mangrove. Actually, it protects them from harsh treatment.
The root of the red mangrove.
This might look like algae, but this is seagrasses, which are flowering plants. They populate clear shallow waters close to the mangroves where they are spread by rhizomes. The food web of mangle and seagrasses are interlinked with each other and also the coral reef. The water here hides another secret. The sea cow is Guatemala's largest mammal. It is endangered and it cannot survive temperatures below 15 degrees Celsius while it is inhabited in this warm, shallow river. This protected area is called Biotopo Chugon Matiacas.
You'll be shitted if you not under there.
Rio Dulce certainly had a lot of interesting offers. They went away way too fast, but we had to go to the hotel before it got dark.
That's a professor.
Yeah. Look at the flowers. They're all closed because the sun already. There's no sun.
Let's smooch. Let's go search for the mangroves. This is a parasite plant. It could be a Mangrove, right? We are now at the Punta Manapic, and what we are going to do now is that we are going to look for species of mangroves, not only but also other species that live in this plantal community ecosystem here at the coast.
Also at this location we were told that it would be able to find all of the 4 common mangrove species. To our great fortune, we actually got more lucky this time.
Oh! Sorry, I forgot the question. Yeah.
And here,
what's that big?
look at the leaves of this tree. Which are they?
Oh, this.
That one. The thick.
That's jungle, man. Yeah. But it is different, you see.
Ah, not bad.
Here we have found the Conocarpus, but it's quite dead, so we're trying to find a better one.
Bottomwood is usually an upland species, but here at Punta de Manapic we found it only 20 meters from the shoreline. This is remarkable because bottomwood is the most sensitive to immersion in salt water. This could be a step of succession, constantly changing, but anyway it shows that nature often can be unpredictable.
These are flowers in the Conocarpus, I think.
The black mangrove only exists in the Americas. Of the 4 common species in the new tropical world, it is the most tolerant to salt water. The up to 30 centimeter pencil-like venometers support the tree with oxygen in the moist ground.
Now we have made a little research of the root specimen that we got in the water. You can see that it's rather spongy. These roots are made so the tree can get some air and it will come in through. You can see the small lenticels on the roots above the water. That's how the tree gets air.
The white mangrove grow in the Americas and West Africa. It is typically restricted to the land area of the mangrove community. It can form pure stands in the more disturbed areas, but it is rarely seen.
Sagittaria.
Here we got the flower of Montecaria.
Yes, yes, oh yes.
Where's the best place to do it? On the other side?
Yes, where there's a biological station. We'll have them between the leaves because they're opposite.
But But Malvasia is very easy to recognize. This is the fruit of the Stimulania of the Abyssinaceae.
Normally this species grows at 2,000 meters of altitude. It comes down with the rivers from the mountains and deposits seeds at sea level. It is not a mangrove in the strict sense, but it lives in this mangrove community.
We are now 100 meters away from where we were before, and it is still coastal swamp, but we haven't seen any mangrove vegetation. Is this still mangrove vegetation, or is it just another ecosystem near the sea?
This question is hard to answer. If we assume that mangle is a community in tropical and subtropical swamps under influence of ebb and flood, this could possibly be a mangle subtype without any true mangrove species. If we assume that mangle has to be dominated by at least one of the 4 common species, this would most likely be categorized as another coastal ecosystem. It might be closely related to the mangrove community, though it has features as salinity in common with the mangle. Therefore, it might be of same great importance as a typical mangle. A community that provides habitat for many kinds of animals, home for thousands of insects, shelter for fish, and nesting sites for birds. Furthermore, many people make a livelihood from mangle. But there is a great difference in industrial benefit complexes and local people's small-scale shrimp fishing and wood collecting. Mangle is not only a natural resource, it is also a diverse natural treasure.
Vi gave mig fuld.